They get into Davis. Oh, and they pay me for this. Inside. Nice twirling move.
Hang in there. We'll be all right.
Really appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Wreck 'em.
One of the really great people in college basketball. What a joy to visit with. Boogie Fland will get the ball, and he's picked up by Hawkins. On top is Johnell Davis. Drives inside, tries to pierce the defense.
Wasn't even involved in that screen and roll, but everybody on the defense went toward the lane, and Overton just flew in from the end.
Texas Tech began the game 2-17. The Red Raiders 7-9. Here's a three. Bullseye. Back in. Lauren told us he was on the bench and ready to go, and sure enough, he's on the floor, and Davis will control for Arkansas. And with Wagner with it.
Adu just did a great job forcing Toppin to shoot over him.
Absolutely right. Not fouling him, and the size is a factor.
Davis three.
Continue to shoot the ball like this, game over.
Well, but they're only shooting barely over 20% from two.
Davis will take it two.
Okay, so much for that. If they don't have any three-point shooters, Williams and Toppin feel the need to back it all the way in.
Hawkins picked up his third. It's Davis. Williams is on him, trying to muscle. Shot clock at 8. Trying to spin. Digs his way, turns and fires. Wow is
to that right shoulder and the left hand. He's very good there. That's his comfort zone. One of the few times Brazil's let him get to his strength.
Arkansas's not hit a three in the second half until right there.
Well, they has bothered them at every position.
Adu has done such a great job just moving his feet and staying in front of Toppin, making Toppin shoot over the top.
Richmond, great pass to Davis. Richmond, the freshman, pulls it off.
Tough shot. Wagner way off the mark. Richmond may have gotten away with a travel, but a turnover by the Red Storm.
I don't think one thing we don't have to worry about is these two teams walking the ball up the floor. They want to go, both of them.
Johnell Davis will go first for the Raiders.
They can do that tonight.
Here's Scott from the outside, and it won't go. Brazil clears.
And so far, now it's very early, they haven't been near the glass.
Davis the other way. Johnell.
Great ducking by Iwuchukwu.
Misses in tight. Defended by Adu.
Got to finish that one.
Davis accelerating and scoring.
Transition defense, not good. That
Ari has 4 fouls in 15 minutes. Fland again. Not this time either. Offensive rebound. Davis with the putback.
And that was R.J. Lewis.
Wagner. Not there. Tipped all the way out, and Davis tracks it down with 20 to shoot. Wagner played all 40 minutes against Kansas. Davis, too easy, slicing through the... Kansas up by 3.
And Arkansas playing a small team, even though Igisic is coming in back with the 2 fouls. He's keeping Brazil out.
Davis knocks it out.
Bill Self's one of the best coaches to high-low.
Davis defended by Mayo. Adu gives it back to Davis for the jumper. It's good. Davis for 3. It's good. Johnell. Griffin over to Dickinson. Wide open. Misses the 3 and the rebound to Wagner.
I think they need to play through Dickinson, but when he's on the box.
Davis, quick 3. It's good.
He caused that turnover.
3 consecutive trips with a turnover for the Jayhawks.
And they got to reverse the ball.
Davis for 3. Good!
What an unselfish move to go to Chris Beard and say, I don't care if I start. We just want to win. And he's been coming off the bench, one of the best 6 men in the country.
Padula got a good look, couldn't knock it down, but to get a big-time score for them on the season, better than 15 a game. Nellie Davis with a strong. A pass behind Brakefield, taken away by Davis. And he'll finish it himself and be fouled. 5 years with the Rebels, better than 1,700 points in his career. What a tip, but it won't go down for Dre Davis, and back comes Arkansas.
Arkansas really doing a good job of pushing the ball up court, putting a lot of pressure on Ole Miss's transition defense.
Adu guarded by Brakefield. Wide open Davis. Count it. And Arkansas leads. But a little bit behind. Now it goes back over to Davis.
Is sharp starting this game out. They've been very good on their rotations, on their switches the first couple of Arkansas possessions. Even when they've been caught with a mismatch, they have fought.
And it got to be in feeling fairly confident, having beaten the Hogs easily just a week and a half ago. The first day from it.
That's one that South Carolina should have had, but Billy Richmond made it Arkansas.
Thomas kind of lost it trying to make a pass. Now Davis. Boy, and the Arkansas guys driving right into the... And again, we mentioned they're without Adu Thero, who's had not a terrific year for Arkansas this year. Over 15 points per game.
It's not just about the initial shot here by Arkansas. It's about the rebound.
Pringle is back into the game now for South Carolina. Nelly Davis, left hand, it goes.
Really good going inside, but the substitution that just came in, he's up for 6th man of the year this year and most improved. Kayshawn Murphy is a guy that really has expanded his game, really getting busy, and Damian Fishback will let me know that.
Davis connects.
All out of there. 2.3 on the shot clock. Got to have something quick. Nelly Davis can be potent right here.
Oh, Davis going to let it fly. Davis, yeah.
Not game down.
Had an incredible impact early on in this game.
So active.
Turnover, though. Davis on the go. Johnell Davis with the left.
That's how you finish right.
Murphy underneath. Murphy could not get it to go.
Put in a tough spot right there to have to try to finish over a 7-footer in the short corner.
Arkansas is imposing its will right now. They have got the foot on the gas. Davis for 3, puts it in.
One.
I would say that in the SEC, when Tanner and Edwards are on the court together, that would be the smallest backcourt in the conference.
But Davis, sometimes that's not whistled, but it was almost like a body blow by McLaughlin.
So Nickel with 2 fouls, Hogard has 2 fouls, and now McLaughlin has 2 fouls.
And remember, Coach Bynington is not worried. Smile a little bit. Vanderbilt sideline frustrated. 1-2-2 pressure. Handled easily by Arkansas.
Boy, it has just been too easy for them.
You know, they were only 4-12 from the three-point line. Hadn't needed it, although Ugasic is giving you 2 threes. Davis off the hezzy. His new career high for the Columbia native. Nice exchange there by Coach Cal and Lamont Paris. Losses that Calipari's had here, the 2 ejections going back to the last decade. Has not been one of his better venues for the Hall of Famer in the first 3 of the game to Johnell Davis.
The bench right now, Adu and Richmond have entered the game for Arkansas. They're playing another man short tonight without Adu Thero. He was announced this afternoon. He's out with a knee injury. Nelly from deep. Tonight is Texas Mark for three. He has yet to score in this game. Mark is 0 for 5. He was scoreless in the first matchup with his former team back in the game in Austin. Davis looking for Ivisic. Big screen, and Davis got free.
Get it. He's going to make the right play.
Tom Hart, Ron Slay, overtime in Fayetteville. Hogs led for just about the entirety of regulation. They fell behind 3-0 on a Trey Johnson bucket, reclaimed the lead, and didn't look back until late.
You see Arkansas trying to go back inside.
6 to shoot. Nellie Davis with the drive, and O'Connell goaltending and count it.
Lead of the night.
See, this is the maturity of Missouri. They don't get rattled. The graduate players, the senior leadership, they understand how to weather the storm. Marquez Ward does a really good job there of being patient, taking the shots that he can make.
Little hesitation to the pull-up. And for Pierce, that'll be his third personal. Open. Davis, knocked down.
This is a big moment in the game right here for your Arkansas. You've got the lead. The crowd is in the building, up by 4 points. Getting something going here will be huge for your momentum.
Here's Davis!
In the jungle on Feb 8, they lost to Florida. Just one of 2 losses on the year. A miss by Miles Kelly to start the game, and it's Arkansas ball.
Well, not only lost they, but they gave up 90 points on 13 made threes, and this is how
in February than they were in December.
Well, guys just going back to their natural position, as you see Nellie Davis right here with the steal.
And Davis on the drive, puts it up and in. Arkansas with 5 quick points. And it seemed to work. They smoked ASU last night. 55-49, 5.5 to go. Auburn in front. Davis hesitates and drives, pulls up and scores to make it.
Reach. And he's able to get to his spots and just raise up. Great verticality.
Davis with the steal. Great anticipation. The slam on the other end.
Good job with having active hands. Got to be sharp and precise with post passes.
Arkansas's last lead with 6.5 to go in the first half. All the way to the goal. Johnny Davis.
And other than that ball going out of bounds, the Razorbacks have made A&M be one and done on that end of the court.
Aggies 0 for 6 and 0 for 3 from deep. Oddly enough, it's an Arkansas team that has performed better as rotation has shrunk. They haven't been healthy all season. Here's Davis. He missed a couple of games early on, and he splashes down from deep around, and you can create some space with him. So it's almost like you have to have a very short memory. He may get a handful of blocks in this game, but if you stick with it, especially with the offensive rebounding potential, you can take advantage. Here's Taylor. They bring Adu out to help. And tip and a steal. Nellie Davis says, I'll take it myself. And Arkansas is
out there. You got to play harder. You got to be rougher. You got to rough up the other team.
Well, you know, you have to call out your players sometimes. And Coach John Calipari understands he has some high-level players with some high expectations. You have to deliver. And in moments like that,
that change your offensive game plan. I just see them go inside, but Brazil swats it.
I was going to say, it's not going to make it any easier at the rim with the length of Arkansas.
Wagner using the screen from Adu.
That's where Adu has to recognize the mismatch and seal Gibbons and get the easy touch, but getting over his strong shoulder, dropping in that right-hand jump hook.
Handoff is to Davis. Pull-up jumper again, and he's starting to heat up. Wagner was looking for the lob instead. Now here's Johnell Davis. His runner comes to a stop.
Ivisic got his hands on that one. Here's Johnell Davis. And he takes it off the window.
Good read by John in this SEC.
Well, Kentucky, you mentioned it, knocked off South Carolina. 23-point win. Otega Oweh had 17. Arkansas looking.
Diabate was tougher than tough being guarded right there by Thera. Talk about two of the most physical guys in this league, one-on-one, that Diabate just won it.
The 90 points a game. Phylon hangs, can't quite hit. And they do it not necessarily from three. They're only at 34%, although that clip is up from where they were earlier this year. Davis for three.
Coach Greenberg and Sean Farnham were talking about in studio. They've got to make sure this is
stolen away by Johnell Davis. And he climbs the ladder to throw it. Transition three off the mark. And rebounded by Johnell Davis. Wagner shuffles it back to Davis. And he banks it in. Eighth turnover for Texas. Wagner sends Ivisic down to the block. Guarded by Onyema. And Davis with the reverse. Needed. One of those was a transition three from Trey Johnson. Here's one of those. And he's off the mark.
I will say, Tom, this reminds me a little bit of that Texas A&M game. Not the same deficit, but you're playing against the team. Woo.
Trey Johnson off the screen. In and out. And as those misses continue, it feels like it compounds the negative energy. Wagner kicks to the wing. Three good for Johnell.
I like it.
Meanwhile, Big Z having his way. He's from Bodice in Croatia, known for having the world's best oysters. Road trip taste test? What do you say?
Let's do it. Maybe right before the game.
See if they get the same play drawn up. No, it'll be Wagner receiving instead of pulling the trigger. That foul resets the shot clock to 20. 3.5 to play. Wagner behind Ivisic. Here's Knox. Ivisic's got a mouse in the house down there. Ellie Davis for three. He rattles it home.
Kentucky. This crowd has been on its feet for 30-plus minutes, and it's controlled by the former Wildcat Ivisic and now Wagner. They wanted to go to a lob. It wasn't available. What a huge shot. 50-50 balls and one.
Yeah, he has been right in the middle of the traffic, has he not?
Davis fires, sets straight on, and finds the bottom. They get it deep to Carr. Ivisic may have affected that. And a rebound, Arkansas.
Rabbi, listen to Rupp. I mean, it's a 180-degree difference in what it was when this game started.
And it's going to get quieter so far that Arkansas has played all year.
Yeah, but can Arkansas hang in this game and continue to score at this level? They haven't done it all year in conference play. Maybe tonight's the night. On the road, like I said in the open, they cannot have turnovers. They only have 4 so far.
Davis, no good, tipped up. Rebound Carr, and they're going to give the vert most of this season.
No doubt. I'm not sure if he's going to get a piece of it.
Ball fake, Davis, floater, got a good ball flip here for Gray, the physical hero on a man. Here's a turnover. Davis lays it up and in, and back.
Duke Miles throws it up. Wagee missed the bunny.
Missed opportunity by Oklahoma on the last possession. Great steal on the read on that screen roll action. Johnell Davis lays it in with the left hand. Kobe Elvis, tough shot, very tough shot. Missed it. It's a big point here in the game for Arkansas. That was good at 3. Johnell 5 on the shot clock. Wagner for 3. No. Davis, offensive board, and puts it back up and in. That's knocked off LSU. Don Staley, the team still rolling. Big time freshman Joyce Edwards, really good player, taking on Tennessee, and a new mother, Kim Caldwell. Yes. Davis got it. 3. And that's what you want to see from John. Davis, corner 3, splash. Calipari once again after the
acting. That Bobby Portis?
I believe it was. Yeah. He's got his arms waving around. That's a vintage extended size Bobby Portis.
And where's the offense going to come from? Can you drive the ball with your big guards, get physical with them?
Billy Richmond on the floor. Davis, the pump fake, and the finish.
So I do like.
That's going to be the 3rd personal on Kane. 8 points, 3 fouls. Numeral 0 in black. Davis, a step back. Big shot to open up the.
Trying to pound it inside. Duke Thero was phenomenal as an inside defender and forced it tough too. What a shot by LeFew.
He's come off the bench in all 19 games this season for the Dogs. Averaging double figures. First team All-MAC last year at Mount St. Mary's. Spots by Davis on the other end.
Senior captain is red hot to start. Knox was looking for his 2nd bucket. Johnell Davis gets the visitors a new 20. They try to work it around. Bates closes out on Davis. Davis to the rim, and he lays it in.
Since thinking, I'm going to have assists all night long, just kick it, barely touching the fingertips of Grill, and he lets it go.
Had 6 on Tuesday. He's got 3 in the first half. Davis has got to connect here, and he does.
That may be the spark that LSU needed.
Boy, vicious Robert Miller, the 3rd rejection, number 6 in the white. Just came into the game. Davis, give and go. Johnell Davis to the cup.
Tweaked his ankle mid-November. He's had some health issues in and out that have held him out. If he can stay on the floor consistently, he can be a great contributor for the Tigers.
So Arkansas had the early edge. Now LSU has gone on a mini run to knot this thing up. A lot of urgency in this one. Neither team wants to start 0-4. Someone's going to walk out of here with their first league win. Davis for 3. So floor. Who's open? How about Adu recovering that time? Put his hands up to deflect the pass. Davis pulls it and buries a 3. He's got a couple of blocks as well, so Adu's effort has been very present. Adu with the offensive board. Davis, great ball fake. It's a veteran move.
And nice back cut by Morrell. Ends up to a corner 3. And an Ole Miss team that is shooting 36% from deep. No such luck here early tonight. What makes Ole Miss such a good defensive team?
Well, they switch so much, and typically they communicate well, but that's back-to-back possessions. They have not communicated the same side of the court.
And now Murray passes it up. Dia set shot. And the Rebels just 1 for 5 from behind the arc tonight. Calipari all the way out on the floor to give his charges their direction. Davis wide open. Got it.
You got to find.
2nd bucket of the night. 3's off the mark from Murray. Here's Thero on the run. Davis, and he finishes. And went for 27 in that game. Morrell gets a breather. Rebels go a little bit deeper in the bench. Eduardo Klafke now in the game, number 8 in the powder blue. Johnell Davis drills another.
Yeah, he plays with some definite moxie, and I'll tell you what, if you leave him open, it's going in.
Arkansas has not scored since that media timeout. Nelly Davis buries the triple.
Be alert when a guy drives in there, they can't turn. That time they got caught ball watching and lost Fox on the perimeter. Good shot.
Hey, the Bears trying to climb back into this one. Stop and another basket would continue that process.
And Brett, Arkansas has had a tendency this year to play really good and then have lapses.
Played only 60 seconds Tuesday night, so I asked one of the Arkansas personnel, and I won't say who, were these guys roommates? And he looked at me and he said, they are now. Misery loves company, so does sickness. Second half off and rolling. Nellie Davis trying to continue this three-point stroke. UCA lost to Little Rock by 6. Also played UAPB. A little higher scoring game, but also fell by 6.
No, they were in the Georgia Tech game, Wade.
They were.
As Coach pointed out to us yesterday, there were 5 games in the second half where they were single digits late in the second half. That has to be encouraging.
Yep. Golden to Wolf. Wolf will miss the 3, and Brazil down with the board.
Arkansas has really been resistant in this second half. They are dictating on defense.
Davis will try the other corner, and he'll hit. And the
They're seeing meetings at the summit in this one.
A fiercely contested game here in New York tonight.
Michigan switching right now.
Davis. Counted, and a foul.
Played 12 minutes against Miami. All 4 so far. Millender long on that shot, and Adu clears the rebound. Someone needs to see the ball go through the net.
Yeah, there's a lid on both sides. Will we get it?
Nellie Davis.
Quicker on defense when you know you got some offense to support you.
That was just taken away from Horton. Flan to Nellie Davis in rhythm, and there's a zero in the last couple of years. That was a strong entry pass, but another miss at the rim by Scott and the Roadrunners. Boy, they'd like to have 3 or 4 of those back, and there's Nellie Davis to the back. Arkansas has outscored the Roadrunners 16-6 here in the second half. Nellie Davis open look. That looked good out of the country in scoring. He's under his per game average, but he still has 19.
Yeah, like you said, he's one of those guys that you know he's going to put the ball in the basket. You know he's going to have roughly 20 points. It's just, is he going to have 21 or is he going to have 29?
Arkansas bleeding some of the shot clock, but Nellie Davis, why not? That was a wide.
The Canes. And the pass never got there, picked off by Arkansas. Flan wants to run. Davis lets fly and hits the triple.
And we talked about
and knocked out. Miami with a fast answer from Jalen Blackman, who makes 39%.
Great play by Nigel Pack, cracking the paint and then finding Blackman on the interior, who gives Miami some separation.
Davis slams on the break and knocks down. That'll rattle in from three-point land.
But what they have not been able to do is get Miami off the three-point line, especially Blackman has knocked down back-to-back threes in the last couple possessions for the Canes.
Davis lets fly and nothing but net.
And you see Davis now, others allowed them to be the stars. He understands this year he has to be the star for this Arkansas team to be successful.
He's been that, 19 points a game, 6 rebounds. Straight on Davis. Yeah, that'll rattle in.
And we.
Zvonimir Ivisic. Backing in. Tough delivery on the baseline. Grab by Thero. Reload. Davis.
Nice pump. He does that beautifully.
Fly by and a jumper goes for 3.
Little size.
Some things up this time of year, but if you reflect back to Friday night's game, they simply want to close things out a lot better than what they did against Little Rock.
Yeah, I mean, this is the time of year where you're cleaning some of that stuff up, and knockdown by the team needs me to get guys open. It's a skill for sure, but you can't bog your mind down with, well, am I being selfish or not?
Second chance point.
Just cannot believe, just a freshman.
On the takeaway, look out, Davis. Deep three, no good for Shaw. 2 minutes to go, first half. Davis loads up and knocks it.
See that very often in today's game, especially at this higher level in the SEC. There's a lot of moving around. So, built the foundation, Florida Atlantic, and then obviously had an opportunity to come here. Speak of the devil.
And he wants to be a much, much better defensive team than he was the last 3 or 4 years, and we see it early on tonight.
Goodness, Johnell Davis now getting involved, and Daryl's
comfortable too.
Yeah.
Washington on the drive, and his pass was just taken away. Not a clean catch, so Wagner with the steal. Wagner didn't score the other day in 37 minutes, but picked up some assists and steals and whatnot. Davis will drive and get the friendly roll for the junior guard.
That was easy. He made that difficult shot there. He made that look very easy.
Nelly Davis needs to see that ball. They're looking at a 8.5, maybe 9-minute drought without a field goal as Arkansas tries to salt this one away for their third win.
They've really done a job of staying in front of the ball, guarding their yard, not letting them just blow by there and creating opportunities for people. And then offensively, they've really come along and showed some patience.
Down the floor, every time down the floor, he's attacking the basket, not only to try to score, but to find an open man. Davis right there. Nice shot.
Hey, the race. 7 ties so far in this game. Tough drive. Switching hands was Rigsby, but he didn't finish. And Jackson Fields up slow. Arkansas will play with numbers, and that's what Nelly does.
Yep.
He gets to the.
If you can get a 5-6 point lead, that feels more like 10 or 12 with the pace of this game and just how the offense is going for both teams.
Arkansas led for about 2 minutes in this game. Johnell Davis, after the pump fake, gets open for 3, and that shot was true.
Just of this zone against Gonzaga, so Cal prepared for what the film showed him. And Scott Drews won a ton of games, and got some time back on the floor for the Hogs.
Arkansas tied the game at 44. Since then, it was Baylor with another run, 19-10, outscoring Arkansas to open up this 9-point lead. But he looks healthy there as Johnell Davis.
Like tonight for Arkansas. Big Z with the miss. There's the rebound and the follow from Johnell Davis.
So Arkansas is just struggling to play fast and get a rhythm. Lipscomb's doing a great job of getting back and setting their defense.
Davis on the drive. A little bit of contact, no whistle. Second basket for Nell. Tied at 17.
Both teams are playing great defense, though. You can tell by the percentages. I mean, 12% from 3, 0% from Arkansas. It's a tough game right now.
Nelly Davis on the drive, and Arkansas. Teams have combined for only 6 free throw attempts here in this first half. Shot clock in single digits. Davis uses that screen from Brazil. Shot clock's at 3. Davis has to hoist. There's the first hit from three-point land tonight. Spinning, twisting, and scoring. Maybe an extra turn there to try and get some separation. He scored 15, though, so he's more than holding his own.
Absolutely. He plays at his own speed, and that little mid-fade, and if his feet are set from 3, wow, great move.
There's Davis again, just crafty the way he gets. Back up the Bisons. This is what they do when they're floating pretty good. They get some open threes.
See, that they have to start speeding their pace up, which could either get them back in this game or it could help the Hogs start blowing them out.
Yeah, you feel like Arkansas would like to play at that pace. There's Davis again.
That's incredible.
You're going to see that one again. I swear his forehead was at the rim. Here's Davis on the drive with the reverse off the glass. And Lipscomb has to